Hey, what's up, guys? Here we are, episode number 17, the Monster Motivator TV. We actually are doing 2 episodes in one day. It is getting busy. We are filling up these slots. So we're in Marietta, California. I love this town. They adopted me and they brought me in as their own. So I have a real special place in my heart for Marietta and for this business that we're going to talk about. And the business owner, I love her. She's a great, amazing woman. Her and her husband helped me out when I had the restaurant out here. So there's a lot of great feelings here. But I want to share with you her story, where she started, how she got here, and where you expect to go. So Muna, Elias, take it away. Introduce yourself and let everyone know. Give them your story. Where did it all start?
Many years ago. Well, it's personal. I've had 7 knee surgeries.
Okay.
And I was in an unloader.
Okay.
At the time, I needed a total knee replacement. I had a 5-month-old child. Okay. And I was miserable, couldn't walk. We had gone to many doctors, and they said, you need a total replacement. It's a knee, that's a 1-year time frame. Didn't see how that would fit into our schedule with our lives. Started doing a lot of research and started realizing, even though I always wore good shoes, I realized at that point that I needed the right shoe for what was going on with my feet. Okay. And I started researching, and that's where this whole idea started coming from.
That's where the passion came from.
Right.
You found your why, like we talk about all the time.
Right.
You found your why. But let's I'm going to talk about first of all. Let me share with you. I made a mistake on the promo. I said entrepreneur and 6 children. She actually has 7 children. So this is the Monster Motivator TV. This is monster mode right here. This is an entrepreneur with 7 kids. So. I want you to share with the people out there, maybe somebody that wants to start a business or a single mom that's struggling, feeling overwhelmed. You've been there plenty of times.
I've been there
right?
many times.
Plenty of times. So share some things that you've done to overcome that, to break through those fear barriers.
Don't listen to that negative bug.
The self-talk.
The self-talk.
Okay.
Don't listen to it, or from outside. Sometimes it's not even...
The outside noise?
The outside noise that people are constantly, oh, you can't do that. There's no way you'll survive. How are you going to do that with a family and responsibilities? And you can't do it. You'll never succeed. And I would daily have that 15, 20 positive monologue with myself. Okay. And say, why can't I do it? Why can't I?
Why not me?
Why not me?
Because
everybody's like, why me? Why not me?
Right.
And that's when I started to do more and more research and realize, you know what? It can happen. It will happen. There is a positive in what I'm bringing and what services we do provide. And
it's a great point that I want to touch on, right? 2 great points that is really very important to understand and run with is, number one, what she said is surround yourself with the right people.
Yes.
Right? That's vitally important.
Yes.
But also understand that the outside noise and some of the negativity is coming from your inner circle because they're meaning well. Even though, it's not done on purpose, but they want to protect you. Right. They want to wrap you in bubble wrap and hope nothing happens.
Exactly.
But that's not how you grow and expand.
Right.
So understanding that, how important is that? Because knowing where it's coming from. So if it's coming from your mom or your dad or your aunt or your uncle or your best friend, you kind of feel that guilt, like, man, I should be lit. That they mean well. Right. But it's not their journey. Is that accurate?
That's so accurate, and that's kind of. And then I had outside community that I had positive and negative. I had outside community that said it's never going to work. But then when I'd stop to think, well, is it really not going to work, or do they not want to see me move ahead?
Right.
And then surrounding myself with a really amazing group of women in this valley.
Oh, great.
Who were behind the scenes, who were constantly, no, Muna, you can work. You just need to take a little time and really focus on what direction you want to go.
Yes.
And so sometimes it was, and the negativity, it made me refocus and revamp whenever I did hear those negative energies.
So you used it in a positive
I
way.
did. I turned it around. I said, okay, so maybe that's not who I'm trying to reach.
Right.
Or maybe I have to take a couple things off my plate.
Right.
So that I can make something else
So you just
happen.
have to sit back and audit, right?
Yes,
and
constantly.
figure it out. And that's our DNA. That's our
Yeah.
life, right? Every day we're putting out fires, readjusting.
Yep.
And every episode I say this because I'm such a fan of it, is we jump off the cliff and we build a plane on the way down.
Yes. And as we jump off, you know, if you look too far, then it'll scare you.
Yes. Yes.
Don't look
Yes.
down, because if you jump, you got to believe that you can land on, because there might be a ledge right there, but if you're looking down, you may not see that ledge.
Exactly. And it's taking you off
Right.
focus.
Right.
So that's very important to understand who you surround yourself with. Understand that some of the outside noise is meant well,
Right.
but it's just not their journey,
Right.
right? And that's okay. Just keep moving forward. So I do know a little bit of the background.
Yeah.
You and your husband
Yeah.
owned how many Little Caesar pizzas?
We had 5 at one time up in the Bay Area.
Up in the Bay Area, 5 at one time.
Mhm.
And did you have all 7 kids at that time?
We had,
When you had your 5th one, your 5th
Yeah.
store.
yes.
So they had 5 Little Caesar pizzas
Yep.
and 7 kids. Like I said, this is real monster mode right here, right? She makes me look like I'm standing still. But it's just absolutely amazing what you can do when you have the right support system,
Yep.
but you have the right belief.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
So how much have you learned having all those locations?
Things what to do and what not to do.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out people, because it's a lot of people skills. Yes, we're providing a product, but we're also managing different energies, people skills, listening to those negative voices that they may have, and trying to figure out how to make the stores be successful, and accountability.
Okay. So are you a believer that culture really is everything? Everything
Oh, yeah.
follows culture
Yeah.
of your business?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you don't have that right culture,
If you don't have that culture within, you're not going to succeed.
okay,
Good or bad, whichever, success
Exactly.
or
Either way.
failure.
either way.
Mhm.
And then as a leader, you had to lead this, right?
Right.
And lead your family
Right.
by understanding who you have on your team. So level of awareness, self-awareness in you and your team, how important is that?
Extremely. Because if you let that inner negative dialogue dwell within your brain,
Yeah.
then it comes with everyone around you.
Okay.
So keeping that positive and that balance.
And on the flip side,
Yeah.
the negative becomes cancerous. It becomes toxic.
Yep.
Right? So
Mhm.
it will spread just as quick,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
If you're not understanding it, acknowledging, and taking the action.
Right. And
Yeah.
and I can see that, you know, in if we break an egg in the morning and it ends up in the floor,
Yeah.
because and that becomes the focus of our day, we're gonna have a terrible day.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
You're not gonna go anywhere.
No.
But you know, you wipe it up, you clean it up, you fry up another egg.
Right. It's over.
It's over, it's done.
It's over.
It's
And that's the advantage of a DNA of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because if we can't do that, we're done.
you're done.
We're done.
You're done.
It's over. Stick a fork in us.
Oh,
We're
looking
done.
for this location, we went through dozens. I went through 4.5 years of looking for a location before we found this location.
Because you had all that wisdom from
Right.
the other locations.
Right.
Correct?
From the other stores,
Yeah.
I knew what I did and didn't want, what I was
Okay.
willing to settle for,
Okay.
what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And so that helped me, so that when something kind of a red flag,
Mhm.
when I was looking in the other locations, like, maybe it's time to move on.
Yeah. And see, I want to highlight this point. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, what you're looking to get in. It's always the same recipe with different ingredients. So you when you're doing something brand new and you're not sure where to start, where to end, what's going on, you find yourself in the darkness, you want to look and search for people that have been there
Yep.
and done it.
Right.
Is that?
Absolutely. And surrounding myself, in my case, I had a really amazing group of women that were behind the scenes giving me
Entrepreneurial?
entrepreneurial that are really, they have successful businesses.
They
or
were seasoned.
They
Yeah.
were seasoned, and they
Yes.
would kind of pull me aside and give me a food for thought.
Yes. A mentoring type,
Oh, yes.
right?
Oh,
I mean,
I would not
how
have.
valuable was that?
Huge.
right?
Oh, I can't
Absolutely.
even. And now, as I'm where I'm at, I'm doing that to others too, and saying, "Hey,"
Yes.
but in a positive way.
No, right.
Right.
But that's so important to search out those mentors that have been there and done it. So what are some of the things, I know you're really involved in the community.
Very.
What are some of the things that you're doing with the store, and I know you're really involved with the chamber.
Yeah, I'm really involved with the chamber, so I'm constantly doing events with them.
Okay.
I represent them as an ambassador.
Okay.
But also reaching further than that, I'm part of Rose Again. So that's a foundation,
Nonprofit.
a nonprofit, a 501c3,
Okay.
and they are helping some of the foster and emancipated youth in the valley.
Okay.
And I teamed up.
Oh, wow.
They came to me.
Okay.
And we found a need that there are a lot of young ones that don't have proper fit shoes, good shoes, new shoes. Some of the young ones have never had that. I partnered up with New Balance and with Super
Oh,
Feet.
wow.
And then Clogs also stepped up, and we were able to provide through Rose Again 100 kids with brand new shoes that were properly fit, that were what they needed on their feet.
Yeah. What is almost custom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's talk about the store, because it's made such an impact in such a short period of time in this community. What separates you from the other shoe stores? And I know there's a laundry list. I know that, but
yeah.
a lot of people don't.
First of all, because I've been in those shoes, and
Okay.
I understand all these shoes in here are amazing shoes. It's an amazing product,
Mhm.
but not every shoe in this store is the right shoe for your foot.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm the end user,
Mhm.
and my purpose is to understand what your needs are, what's going on with your foot,
Mhm.
and then find the right shoe, the right product to fit your lifestyle and what's going on with your foot.
Okay.
Whether you've got concerns or no concerns, whether you pronate, you supinate, you've got heel spurs, whatever's going on with your
Mhm.
foot, but making sure that that product supports your lifestyle.
Yeah. So really, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the passion all wrapped up into one.
Right.
Is really what you're talking about.
Right.
And see, I can relate to that. When I have my sports nutrition store,
Yeah.
people would come in all the time. They'd say, "What should I take?" I don't know. What are your goals? Let's figure this out.
Exactly.
I don't know. Right?
It's exactly
I'm
the
not
same
trying to
thing.
sell you anything because I
Exactly.
don't know. I
Right.
don't know. So you're doing the same thing.
Doing the
when
same
people
thing.
come in,
Yep.
let's evaluate, because we have no idea where to go.
Right. I mean, you may think you're looking for a certain product
Right.
when in reality, because of what's going on with you, you may end up with another product because that's what's better suited for your lifestyle and what your needs are.
Right. And see, that's value that you just can't buy. You
No.
just can't buy that
No,
value.
and you can't buy that online. And
Right.
I know a lot of people
Right.
go shopping
Great
on the
point.
internet.
Great point.
They purchase 20 shoes.
Mhm.
They return 20 shoes.
Mhm.
Well, here we have the ability to bring out 20 shoes, but because the staff is trained, we also have the ability to listen to what you're saying you need and want, and helping you maybe put on a product so that you walk out with one or two pairs.
Right. See, and the other thing I love, and I want to highlight this because it separates you, is it's a neighborhood
Yep.
store. It's a neighborhood shoe store. And when I say neighborhood shoe store, all 7 kids are here
Yep.
today in this store working,
Yep.
correct?
Always. And
Always.
always we have at least 1, 2, or more.
And you tell me where you're going to find that.
Yeah.
You're just not going to find it. So I love that feel of, and it was from day one. The first time
First time,
we
yeah.
did the ribbon cutting,
Right.
it's that same feel,
Yep.
like you're back home.
Yes.
You know, that feeling.
We're family. This is what
Yes,
shoe stores
yes.
used to be like, where we actually have stools that we sit, we help put on your shoes. We actually have something called a brannick, which we measure your feet.
Right?
And then we also have something called a shoehorn, which a lot of people don't even know what a shoehorn is, to help assist you put your shoes on.
Exactly. And you also communicate. You
Yeah.
talk. You
Yes.
say hello. You say thank you.
Yeah.
You say,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're all things that you miss online. And quite honestly,
Yeah.
you miss in the brick and mortars of today.
Correct.
Because you just don't get that.
Right.
And I feel it's probably because the people are in the wrong business. They don't have that passion,
Right.
for whatever it is they're doing.
Whatever it is.
So how important is that? Let's talk about that. Following your passion.
Huge. Huge. Because if you don't have a passion for it, then people will, because you know what, if you're not true to yourself, you don't have that passion, people will sense that,
Mhm.
and they'll sense that you're not genuine,
Mhm.
and that's where the failure happens.
Okay.
And it doesn't even have to be a monetary failure, you may be letting people down, whatever it is, whether you're computers,
Yeah.
fashion, whatever your desire. If you don't have that passion, you won't have success because people will sense it.
And you just can't give 100%.
You can't.
Right? You
Right.
cannot give 100%. How does it feel to actually follow your passion?
Oh, I
Share
love it.
that.
Oh, I
Because,
love it.
because
I love it.
that's huge, right?
It is huge, and people sense that in me when they come in.
Yes.
And they have
Yes.
concerns or issues, and I sit down with them and I'm able to explain to them what's going on, what their needs are, because I work with podiatrists and physical therapists. We kind of get their challenges, like, you know, we'll have people that may have had an injury and their metatarsals are completely glued together, and they need to find a shoe that can fit them but doesn't look ugly. Well, I love that, because
Yeah.
that is a challenge for me,
Yeah.
and I like stepping up to that challenge.
Yeah. And then how they feel after.
Oh, they,
No idea. No, I mean,
yeah.
I got to tell you, my mom, she
Oh, yeah.
loves this place.
Yeah.
She loves this place. She
Your
loves
mom
the
rocks.
energy. Yeah,
Your mom
she
rocks.
loves it. She loves it. So, anything else that you want to share that I didn't go over that you want to put out there? Because
We're family.
okay,
This is a family. That's brick and mortar, kind of, you know, that's, people are starting to realize you come in the door, you know, we greet you, we say hi, but we get to know what your likes and dislikes are.
okay,
And, you know, you get a sense of, you come in as a guest, but you leave as family.
okay.
With our store.
You're just part of the neighborhood.
We're part of the neighborhood.
Yeah,
We're
and see,
part
I
of the
love
community.
that. Being from the East Coast,
Yeah.
it's so it was so powerful growing up
Yeah.
because you knew everyone.
Right.
You walk in and
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So
You read it with a smile.
exactly, and
Yeah.
you actually just feel welcome.
Right.
That's the difference, I think. So, real quick, how long have you had this envision? How long have you?
5 years.
5 years. You knew you wanted to open up.
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
So she knew 5 years ago that this is where she wanted to be, and she just kept moving,
Kept moving.
taking that action.
Yep.
Now, when you take that action, consistent action, do the people and the circumstances start to come in to make it happen? Isn't it kind of magical?
Oh, it's amazing.
Isn't it magical?
It's amazing because it just is like, where did you fall from?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
times where you look and you say, the best Hollywood writers couldn't write this the
Right.
way it came out. But when you stop taking the action, they disappear.
They disappear.
Right? They disappear. So, can they find you? Do you have a website?
We have a
Social
website,
media?
Social media.
Okay.
Twitter, Facebook.
This is George. I'm actually Dave's video guy and the son of this woman right here.
You guys might know him as G.
Yeah.
I call him G.
Yeah.
We don't have a Twitter up as of yet, but we have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, which I just posted today. We have a website, we have a YouTube, which this is going to go up on, and this is also going to go on Dave's website as well.
And when we reshare this, you can give all the information.
Oh, yeah.
So this is it. So anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
In addition to the 7, I want to kind of share,
All right.
because we have Paul,
Okay.
who's our special needs son, who has epilepsy. And I want people to understand that you can still have a life with having a child that's a special needs child.
See, and that's you know,
Yeah.
it's you know, it goes back to is your why big enough, and really how bad do you want it,
Right. Right.
And because of all the issues,
Right.
you can still, and I know you well
Right.
enough to say this,
Right.
you can still look around and say, so many people have it so,
Worse.
right?
Guys, what am I complaining about?
You know, here's what I used to do with my sports nutrition. I knew,
Yeah.
start to know the people. And
Yeah.
I knew the ones that would come in with their head down complaining.
Right.
Well, I give to St. Jude and Make-A-Wish. So they'd send me updates. And I'd keep the newest pictures, right?
Yeah.
10-year-old little girl fighting for cancer, right?
Right.
Has probably 3 months left.
Right.
And the guy would walk in, I knew exactly, oh, today's bad. I go, you know, it could be worse. And they, what do you mean it could be? And I'd show them the picture. And some would be in denial. Well, that's not right. That's not fair. Or some would just stop them in their tracks. So
Right.
I know, let's talk about this at the end. How important is gratitude?
Huge.
Okay.
I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful that everything I have, because that gratitude keeps you humble,
Okay.
and in that humble, it keeps you real.
And let me share this with you, and you tell me, and I know you'll agree, but when you start to have that, you wake up and you have that bad day, you
Right.
find yourself in that funk, when you start to be grateful, make a gratitude list, how quick does that?
It turns around.
It's
And that's when I
instant,
take that
right?
10 minutes
Okay,
and I look around, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I complaining about?
right?
I have so much to be grateful and appreciative. There's no room for negativity.
Right, right.
Because then that negativity pushes you lower and lower.
Yes.
And then you don't
Becomes
have a
like
chance.
a black hole.
Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
right. But at the end of the day, you're being honest because you have a ton,
Oh, I have so
Of-
much on my plate.
and a ton to be thankful for.
And a ton to be thankful because all of that is, I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed. With everything that we have our challenges with our son, Paul, he has taught me so much. I am such a better person for going through and having what we have with him.
And there's not a classroom in this world that you could have got
No,
that same experience.
No.
Nothing.
no,
Like real world,
real world.
real stuff. So, you guys, Elias Shoes, right in Marietta. We're going to post all the information. Make sure you get out here. Make sure you say hello. Tell them the Monster Motivator sent you. And we're going to see you on the next episode next week. Make sure you tune in and keep making it happen.